start your journey of caring a little less. And the reason I say care a little less is probably because YouTube has guidelines and I can't say the other words of that you need to start to care a little less about what people are thinking and kind of start to narrow it down about who you care about. So that's probably what I want to drive home the most for you today in this video is starting with the fact that you care this much. You care this much about a lot of people's opinions. You're caring about what the person at Target thinks of you, what the lady at the mall thought about that you didn't tip big enough. You care too much about too many people. You need to start to narrow it in. And what I want to suggest is that you start to limit it down to about 5. And this might be strange because you're thinking, well, I want to care about what family thinks, friends, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean that you don't listen to them. It doesn't mean that you don't care about them. It means that you have a certain narrow amount of where your thoughts will go when you're thinking about who you care about when it comes to the decisions that you're making for your life, the things that you're saying, and the things that you're even thinking. So that's a whole nother video that they're impressing now on your thoughts. But you got to narrow it down about how many people that you care about. So I say 5 because it's like this top 5 kind of thing. If you're very old as I am, you remember MySpace and having your top 5 and all that. But seriously, you got to narrow it down of how many people. And what that does for you, allows you to have more perspective about I'm only going to care about a certain amount of, I have these core people that I know care about me and I can take their opinion and it matters. So I'm not going to be overly concerned about what the person at the store thinks or what the person in the car thinks that you're never probably going to meet and you don't know what they're thinking because now you're making up a story about what they might think about you. Once you have that select 5, it makes it a lot easier to start to filter out those other cares. So it makes it easier for you to say what you need to say and be assertive and do what you got to do to get to your goals. Now, even in that top 5, this is the other point. I want to stress that just because you care about what those top 5 think, it doesn't mean that their opinion goes over what you have to get done. Now, I want to stress once again here, we're stressing out. I want to stress that just because you have those top 5 and if you're doing something, you don't want to be overly concerned with what they think either, because that's going to limit you again. Yes, you want to take in their concerns, their opinions, because remember, you've picked a very select top 5, so you know that they care about your well-being, and that's important. They've been with you, they've had some history, they're trustworthy people, and still, you can't be held back by their love and their concern for you, because sometimes we've got to go out on a limb and we've got to do something that might be conflicting with what they might want for us. And even though they love you, and even though they've been with you and they're your best friend, I have a best friend, I love her to death. And yet I know at the end of the day, I've got to do what is best for Andrea, and I've got to do what's best for my family. And so that never overrides what I need to do for myself. And likewise for her. And it shouldn't, what I have, my care for her should never override what she needs to get done for herself and for her family. I hope you kind of get what I was giving you there. And the third thing is, there is a conversation that you're having in your mind when you start to take in so many cares about what people think about you. Where is that coming from for you? What is it that has led you to believe that if you care about what they think, it makes you a better person? It's going to make you have better judgments, better outcomes, because none of it will. So I know that sounds very simple to take in. It's a simple statement of, oh, don't care about what they think. But it's not so simple, and yet it becomes more simple when you start to limit down the amount of people that you give the cares about. Like I said, we're on YouTube. I can't use the other words. You only have so many cares to give. So start to rein them in. You only have so many. And when you have your select 5, start to look at them as very important people that you can go to, that you trust, because I'm assuming you made good judgments here, that you picked really good 5. And after that, start to understand that even when you seek their guidance, there still has to be a separation. I'm still me. I still am going to do what I need to do. You are still you. You still need to do what you need to do, and you've got to say what you need to say and be assertive, especially when you know it's the right thing to do. You've done your research, you know what you're talking about. And even if everybody in your top 5 does not agree, you still need to get it done. And at the end of the day, this is all about your thoughts. So take a moment today, listen in, hear yourself, have that conversation, that inner conversation that you're having, and decide what you want to do with it. Decide where it's coming from. Just pay attention to it. And if you've made it this far to the end of the video and you feel as if, hey, I need some extra work, there's something going on with me, you can always book a private session with me. I am here to help you so that you can be assertive in your work, your personal life, and it's overall you just becoming a more concrete, centered person. You've got to know who you are at the end of the day in order to implement these kind of strategies that I'm giving you. And stop caring about what people think.